YouTube right now because it's no thumbnail. But whatever. All right, let's pull up that we're roll up that we're live and get going.
We'll just go chronologically.
Yeah, yeah. Let's just do chronologically. All right. Think we are good to go. I'll take a sip of my coffee real quick though.
Actually, have my big cat mug. I don't even know if I want to use it anymore.
It's like learning Santa's not real. Like
It
it's
is.
terrible. Yeah,
He's a fraud.
kind of is a fraud.
I'm reading comments. Somebody's this is what I thought of is that said the only thing that bugs me is that Big Cat is exactly the kind of guy that would bust somebody else's balls in this exact situation.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Is so true.
He would be harping bad on if this was anyone else. I agree with that one.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Better take this on the chin. Do not be sad
He
cat about it.
no, yeah, he addressed it on two shows, so he's trying to get ahead of it
Okay.
because it got like I guess it got leaked. Like
It
it's
got
gotten
leaked.
yeah. I don't know what's
Such a
happening,
stupid thing to get have to address the allegations of
right?
from
Of your
somewhere different.
fandom. Yeah. No, it's like it's literally like any other scandal, only it's just you're a fake Bears
Yeah,
fan.
that's that's why I love this world that we live in.
Yeah,
This is the scandal.
yeah, exactly. And this should like these are like not he's not actually like like a hero of all, but like these are like the people that we've kind of like looked up to, and it's like the allegations that
Oh
they
yeah,
get. It's like fake Bears fan. It's like yeah, it's like
yeah.
it's important to
I've
us.
been list. I've been listening since I was like 16 years old. It's
Oh yeah,
been a long time.
it's part of the reason why we do this.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh, oh well.
well, not all heroes wear capes, I guess.
Nobody's perfect.
Yeah,
Everyone has
exactly.
flaws.
Yeah, everyone's like yeah. All right, let's just get started.
All right.
We yeah, are people even here yet? No, there's no one up. No one's awake. There's no way because Thomas is like our avid viewer and he doesn't wake up till like 1 p.m.
What about Ethan? What's he up to today?
I don't know. He gets up
Is he
pretty
going to the
early.
game?
He is going to the game, so he might be gearing up. It's
Tickets
not
were
until
not
night.
expensive. I honestly considered
Yeah, no.
just
Ethan was
going
telling
to
me
the
like they
playoff
keep
game.
dropping, but
Yeah.
after 2 more inches of snow this morning, nah, I'm good.
Yeah, it's too cold. You also just sat in the cold too.
Yeah. I also just Ethan went
Oh,
to that one
the
too. So
yeah.
my dad wanted to go
Bucks
to
tickets are down to 92.
Tampa.
Yeah. I was looking at flights earlier this week. I thought about it for a little bit.
The issue is it's a night game too, so you'd have to stay and
So I'll actually we can talk about this on the pod,
okay.
but there's a plan.
Oh yeah, we'll get to that in a second. Before we do start though, my dad wanted to go to the Yukon plays at Georgetown in Capital One today.
Oh, nice.
So you're gonna go, but he just want to go with so it's fair enough.
Oh, gotcha.
All right, let's get the show on the road. Press record in three, two, and one. Hello and welcome to the Wise Guys Podcast. I'm your host, Brady Fitzgerald, joined as always by my co-host, Chris Saget.
How you guys doing?
Doing great, Chris. It's wild card weekend here for the NFL. Saturday morning brunch pod, and we're gonna dive right into it. We're going chronologically through all the games. Um, Actually, we're not gonna dive in real quick. I'm glad I stopped myself. We're gonna predict the Super Bowl real quick, um, and then we're gonna dive in. So, Chris, I don't know. We didn't really do official picks for the Super Bowl. We didn't do it well enough for the preview, but we've talked about the Chiefs. All we've talked about them all year. Don't bet against them for the Super Bowl. Don't bet against them for the Super Bowl. I'm not betting against them for the Super Bowl. I think they are going to defeat the Detroit Lions. I'm going full chalk, one seed versus one seed. I think these are the two best teams. I think the Chiefs have had some rough games, but are still a good team. They actually might have a better roster than last year. Maybe at least a better defense, which is scary to think about. And once 15 gets into the playoffs, it's his domain. It's his world. I'm definitely not betting against it again. They were plus 500 at the beginning of the season. I think they're like still like 500 now, so pretty good. That's what I'm running with.
I this whole time I've been thinking the same thing, and I've had this stance of I'm not going to bet against them until they lose, until they don't win a Super Bowl, because I don't want to be coming on this podcast again on a Tuesday after
The
I
Super Bowl.
narrowly escaped Buffalo again and have to say like, well, they did it again. I'm an idiot. I bet against them. Um, with that being said, I could
But
not help myself, and I picked the Baltimore Ravens to beat them in the AFC Championship, and then go on to beat the Lions
oh,
in the
you're
Super Bowl.
back on
And there's
Baltimore.
one thing, that I can't get out of my head, and it's ever since they moved Kyle Hamilton to like the free safety role, they've been the number one defense.
And they moved
And
Marlon inside. He's the slot corner now.
yeah, so I like can't get that out of my head. And as long as Zay Flowers has to come back,
Yeah,
he has to come back
they don't need him versus
because I know
the
he's out
Steelers.
this
But
week.
oh, is he
No, they should
officially
be
out?
fine this weekend. He's out. Yeah. Um, I know Ethan was worried about that. I guess if I was a fan, like everything would make me worried, but I wouldn't be super worried.
Mhm.
Pittsburgh stinks. Then you go
Pittsburgh
to
stinks. Yeah,
Buffalo
I'm not worried about Pittsburgh.
in what? Yeah, Baltimore Buffalo, which should be an all-time classic playoff game. And I just like picture this. Josh Allen is going to win the MVP, right?
Mhm.
You have Lamar Jackson going into that game already with an edge because it
'Cause
won't
he's
be
the better
announced by
player.
then yet. But because he's had the better year, uh, he's had a better career to this point,
Mhm.
um, and has not gotten the same recognition that Josh Allen. Well, MVPs, but when you do like quarterback rankings, I feel like you usually see Josh Allen ahead of him.
He doesn't
So
get the love.
he doesn't, yeah. So I see them going into Buffalo, winning that game, and then you just have to go on the road and beat Kansas City, which they were an inch away from doing in Week 1. And I don't know, like the same thing that happened last year could happen again this year. It's like I wouldn't be surprised if they lost again, what like 13-10 or whatever it was.
Mhm.
And they're just a total no show. But eventually, something's got to give. Like the team is just too good. Like at
So
some point they have to make it,
I
and
saw
they are healthy.
on your point for the divisional round, there was a great hype video. Shout out my guy Connor Utter sent it to me. Um, it showed Lamar Jackson in college talking about all the analysts saying he should go to a wide receiver. He's too small to play quarterback. Um, and it shows him at the draft, being drafted by the Ravens, and they asked, "What did the Ravens get? 100% of me. You're gonna get a Super Bowl." And
Mhm.
it'd be such a he's improved. He's done the storybook for everything else. And it doesn't have to be this year. He's still only like 28. But for him not to get a Super
It's
Bowl
got
by
to
the
be
end of his
soon.
career, it's got to be soon. It's got to be. And they have the team. Derrick Henry's not going to be like that. I mean, we've been saying this for years, but Derrick Henry's not going to be like this forever. Um, They have the defense, as you said. They're moving pieces around. Nate Wiggins thinks he's the best corner in the league. Um, Marlon Humphrey is probably the best slot corner in the league. Um, and now that they're able to move him back from the outside, he's not getting torched. As you said with Kyle Hamilton, it's a great defense. It's a great team. They were an inch away week one. You never know. What about the NFC side? Who they beating?
So I have the Lions making it. I'm pretty chalk here. I have, yeah, I have Rams, Commanders, Eagles winning round one. So then I have Lions beating the Commanders and Eagles beating the Rams, and then Eagles Lions, which I was very close to picking the Eagles.
Hmm.
It just came down to home field for me. I
Yeah,
can't see them winning at Detroit. I think if it was in Philly, it's a completely different story. But that didn't work in my brain.
yeah, I can see that. That makes sense. Going into Detroit is going to be totally different. I had the Eagles losing to the Rams because I just want to see a Rams Lions NFC Championship. We've already
Of
seen it in the
course.
first round. We've seen it in the regular season. We've seen it with like playoff spots on the line. But let's get it in the NFC Championship. Let's get the Stafford stuff at home. Let's um, talk about storybook. Let's have that NFC side. Some do a nice storybook ending. Um, I like it. I like it. I'm sure our Baltimore fans will be happy to hear you join Baltimore's side here.
I hadn't really thought about it. Like, at no point was I thinking to myself, like, I need to make a Super Bowl prediction. So I kind of just did this in the last 5 minutes,
Mhm.
and my gut. So I think
Yeah, I'm glad we
I'll
didn't
be
think
putting my
about it.
money where my mouth is. Yeah,
Yeah, I'm glad we just kind of did it.
just got a one take at the bracket, called it a
Yeah,
day.
yeah, one swing. You got one swing. Um,
Ravens are plus 550, Chiefs are plus 350. Ugh.
oh, so that makes sense. What Lions are favored at 250?
295.
It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. Let's get in the wild card games. Starting off with the Chargers at the Texans. The classic Texans 4:30 wild card game. I mean, I was gonna say something could be on fire, but that seems a little insensitive. The world could be collapsing, and the Texans could be playing at 4:30 on Wild Card Weekend. Nothing will be stopping this game from happening at 4:30 on Saturday.
Budget
Um,
to the perfect opponent, too.
yes, yes, against the perfect opponent. Um, everyone has been, all the analysts are saying the Chargers. Everything I've heard has been saying the Chargers. I'm not going to disagree here. The Texans, we've been waiting all season for their one game that makes them at least have some sort of playoff confidence that we can expect CJ Stroud to come in and do something that he did last year. And we never had one of those games. A very similar season to last year, so maybe they turn it up in the playoffs like they did last year, but with no signs all season of a confident, consistent offense, it's very scary here to pick the Texans. I have no faith in the Texans. Um, and I have 100% faith in Jim Harbaugh and his ability to get these Chargers moving and grooving. Um, I mean, I think J.K. Dobbins is going to be healthy. I think they're like 9-3 when J.K. Dobbins is healthy. Um, this Texans defense would scare me a little bit, but their biggest strengths are on the edge, where the biggest strength for the Chargers are on their
Mm.
tackles. Um, yeah, there's nothing scary here with the Texans. I don't want to be like I don't want to be too dismissive of them because it is a playoff game and it will be tight. Um, and I think the Texans, similar to last year, I don't remember if the Browns coming in were there was no way Browns with Joe Flacco were favored. I feel like that's kind of ridiculous,
It might
but
have
it was
been.
close. There was definitely a lot of doubt going in
Oh,
because I know I picked
yeah.
the Browns. I wanted them to beat the Ravens and the
But that was more of, like, being excited about the Browns and Joe
yes,
Flacco. Like, I think everyone was not necessarily excited about the Texans, but they had an impressive season, and we were just like, "Well, it's not their time yet."
yeah,
I think
yeah. We
that's
thought it
why
was
we
too
picked
early.
against them. It wasn't, yeah, we weren't having the conversation about, like, they haven't looked good all year,
Mhm.
which is what it is this year. And you're like, you know how I try to do my wise picks where like I try to find the stuff that everybody's on and go the opposite way.
Yeah.
I want to do that here and I just can't
No.
because every time we talk about the Texans on this podcast, it's the same exact thing.
Yeah. Very
And it's
mundane. It's very
oh,
sad.
we're just waiting for them to get into
Yeah.
their groove offensively. We said it after like week 3, and then we said it again after week 15. So, and now you have like Nico Collins is the only weapon for CJ Stroud. Like, yeah, Dalton Schultz, I guess, and now Deontay Johnson. So that's
And
great.
and
Um,
as passive as they were coming into the playoffs last year, sorry, not to mean to cut you off, but CJ
you're all good.
Stroud, we had him as the MVP for next year. We had him as all these like accolades for next year. We were ready to see him take the
Yep.
next step, and he's had a sophomore slump. Um,
Yep.
which I think it doesn't mean the end of the world. It doesn't mean CJ Stroud's going to be a bust and it's going to be terrible. I think it just is honestly pretty natural. I think the sophomore slump has become a something that we've forgotten about after rookie quarterbacks because recently it hasn't come into fruition too much. But it's definitely
On
this
wood.
year.
That continue.
Say again.
Said knock on wood.
Yes, hopefully for both of us that it does not continue. Um, but the the Texans they're a weak team. They're they're not scary, and they'll definitely keep it close because the Chargers can't blow out people. So unless it's Patriots, they completely stomp the Patriots. But I think it'll be a close game. I think the Chargers should take care of business. It might be a fake close game, maybe a backdoor cover, but um, I do think it'll be close. So
I
what are
like
the
to hear
lines
all
here?
the teams. Chargers -3 over under 41.5.
Oh, that over under is so low. It's the lowest by
It's
2
really
points.
low. So here, the Texans have 10 wins this year. Here are the teams that they beat: Colts, Bears, Jaguars, Bills, impressive. Patriots, Colts again, Cowboys, Jaguars again, Dolphins, Titans.
That is
They
a
have one nice win, and that was in
week 4,
week 5.
5. And it
So,
was
but you could do the same thing with the Chargers. The Chargers have not beaten, like, they've only played a couple playoff teams, and I don't even know who they've beaten. They beat the Bengals, who aren't a playoff team, but that's obviously a good win. So that's kind of that also like gives me pause that this Chargers team won 11 games, but you look at their schedule and um, it's really not that impressive.
yeah, good
But
wins would be the
they
Broncos.
showed out better against good. Like they kept it within one score of the Ravens,
Yep.
one score of the Chiefs.
Mhm.
Um,
Twice.
beat the Broncos both times, right?
Yep. Beat the Broncos twice.
Yeah. So I think the resume. If we're just playing the resume game, like their only bad loss is getting smoked by the Buccaneers. Um, so if we're just playing the resume game, Chargers definitely clear. I this Houston offense, I can't get behind. Like I can't imagine them scoring 20 points
After
against
you
a Jim
score 2
Harbaugh defense.
points on Christmas Day, I think you should just be
Yeah.
kicked out of the playoffs. Like them and the Steelers, I guess we can move on to them right now.
I know.
Um,
Yeah, sure.
just they're I mean, the Steelers are a classic playoff team. I mean, they're literally in every year, and they're the same team every year. Um,
Yep. I think
I
this
wouldn't,
game will be closed for 3 quarters
yeah. I kind of
because
like
it is
Steelers
AFC
plus nine
North,
and a half.
and like I don't hate it. I just worry about at the end, like the Ravens have the ball up 3,
Yeah.
and then they just get
Yeah, but
a full dose of Derrick Henry right down the field for a touchdown.
the thing is, though, I feel like when up 3 with the ball at the end, NFL teams just don't go for the touchdown anymore. They don't.
I'm not saying like but like with 8 minutes left in the game.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. I know what you're saying. And then Russ fumbles around, and they don't even get in a field goal
Yeah,
range, and they don't cover.
yeah.
Um,
I had the Steelers +7 last time they played, and it was a hard watch in the fourth quarter.
and they didn't cover, right?
They did not. They lost
The
by 13, I think.
I was gonna say, I wish it was like 11 and a half. Really like it if it was 11 and a half.
I don't hate I don't hate
Ugh,
under
cold coffee.
43. I don't know. What cold?
Yeah. Ugh. But not like iced, not,
Need
iced
a
coffee.
a
Just
mug warmer.
yeah. My dad has one of those. He just puts the mug on there and
Yeah,
it keeps
very
it.
nice.
Yeah, it's real nice. Um, this is totally off subject, and we're gonna come back to football in a second. But um, my dad has a, maybe have you seen Curb Your Enthusiasm?
I've seen episodes, but I'm not like a dedicated fan.
But I've only seen like the last couple seasons because that's what I watched with my parents. But they had Larry makes Latte Larry's. It's a coffee shop. It's a spite coffee shop that he makes right next to another coffee shop. Um, and the mugs, all of them have the electric warmers at the bottom. And my dad has a Latte Larry's mug, but it's not the one with the
Oh,
warmer.
nice.
It's not the one with the warmer, sadly. All right, anyways, back to football.
It's funny.
Pittsburgh Steelers, Baltimore Ravens. Rivalry as old as time. It seems like they play three times a year, what, every 2 years, every 3 years, maybe. Um,
I mean, in the late 2000s, it was every year.
yeah, it's becoming. I
And
think
just
they've
going to
faced off.
war.
Mike Tomlin stat though of the day. Mike Tomlin versus divisional opponents in the playoffs, 12-2. So pretty good stat. But I don't know if this is the team.
Is Troy Polamalu going to play for the Steelers?
Is James Harris still on the team?
Will Heinz Ward be out there?
Yeah, honestly, they need some wide receivers, if
That
anything.
doesn't bother me.
No, that doesn't bother me either. It was just a fun. Mike Tomlin, I mean, just has great
I
stats like
his
that.
losses against the Browns.
Yeah, they lost. That's one of the two
Hilarious.
losses, and I'm guessing the other one had to be the Ravens at some point. Um, but
Yeah,
Russell
it had
Russell
because they
Wilson is
never beat the Bengals.
no, yeah, they wouldn't lose to the Bengals in the playoffs, not because they haven't faced Joe Burrow, I don't think. But
I mean, Marvin Lewis didn't win a playoff game for like 1,000 years.
yeah, and they were like the Steelers have been for like the past 8 years. They just make the wild card and lose everything.
Yes, Dalton. Yeah,
Um, that was Vontez Perfect and AJ Green. AJ Green was so great.
Blackman. Oh, AJ
Uh,
Green was so freaking.
yeah, he was awesome. Um, so Russell Wilson, pedestrian in the past, I don't know, 6 games. Hasn't had a good game since December 1st.
Ass. He's been ass.
Yeah, I wouldn't even say pedestrian, I'd say ass. Um, he throws these safe balls, like his ratings are fine. The past two games are pretty bad, but the past five are pretty fine. And like he throws these tiny balls and he's if George Pickens is out there, he's not throwing it deep. Um, it really hinders their whole ability of what to do. Um, I don't think that they're going to have the firepower to keep up with the Ravens, even if they get up early. Hopefully, the Ravens defense will take care of business. We talked about this with Ethan. The keys is Ravens defense just needs to play how they've been playing. They can't be dropping interceptions. They can't be dropping balls, letting chunk plays happen. Um, and no pass interference on George Pickens. They can't have stupid stuff like that. Um, really need to control the game. And I think they will. Steelers haven't been able to control a game in a long time. Um, it's funny. Do you if you're struggling, say in the second quarter, start of the third, you do something crazy with Fields? Like, do you throw in Fields?
I've been thinking about it, even just to like
Like
not
maybe for a
necessarily that
drive or
he's
like
better than Russ, but just to throw the Ravens off a little bit.
that's what
I
I'm
just don't
thinking.
think Justin Fields is good enough to be a difference maker for more than a drive.
Yeah, I agree.
Like maybe he's out there for a drive and they get scored a touchdown, but I think the Ravens are good enough that they adjust right away. And Justin Fields, if he was that capable of making a difference, Russell Wilson would not be the starting quarterback.
I agree, and I do think if if they had some sort of package for him, then he'd probably they probably would have done it when they were struggling late in the season, right?
They
And
lost
tried to
what,
get some
four
sort
games
of
in a
spark.
row?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's definitely it's something you would have liked to see before the playoffs if they do it, but it is definitely a wrinkle that they could throw in there to try to throw off the Ravens somehow. I think not knowing like if he can catch the ball even. makes it difficult to throw him out there in some weird packages. But if they were smart with it, they could have had him be Taysom Hill for this game.
That would be fun.
Yeah, it would
He's
have
just
been fun.
like not as strong as Taysom Hill.
No, that's the thing. He's just not. He's more of a gadget guy than I'm a strong gadget guy. Um, I don't know what to do with the spread here. I don't I don't know what to do with the over under here either. We'll get to all the picks. We'll have a parlay at the end, and we'll make sure that we have it posted. But we'll have to come back to this one, Chris. Do you have any thoughts so far, or we gotta come back?
Uh, I'm kind of just looking at player props right now. I like
Okay,
Bateman 50 plus yards,
I do like that.
like without say, like that just doesn't seem like that many yards.
No,
And I'm looking at Derrick Henry 90 plus rushing yards.
I like that too. Um,
Derrick
okay.
Henry 90 yards. That feels
Pat Fryermuth,
nice.
40 yards. I feel like that's pretty nice too. Pat Fryermuth's pretty good.
Mm.
Um, yeah. I mean, 8 catches and 7 catches the past 2 games. Oh, he's been injured a little bit, but that's okay. All right, we'll get that. We'll get to that. Keep an eye out, Chris, and we'll come back to that in a second. Where did I just lost? Okay, we're back. All right, you ready to move on to the Broncos?
Yep.
So Broncos Bills, um, popular like worry pick here with the Bills. It seems like with the media. Um,
50-50, where it's like half the NFL world thinks that the Broncos have no chance and
mhm.
it's going to be a blowout, and the other half think this game is either going to be very close or the Broncos are going to win it.
So another stat. I think it was Sean McDermott is not Sean McDermott. Sean Payton is 18-5 versus bald head coaches in the playoffs, or first bald head coaches.
That's a good one.
Come on, let me get it. Incredible stat about Broncos head coach. Yes, Broncos are they are Sean Payton is 30-12 against bald headed head coaches since 2017. So
Pretty
70%.
good.
Yeah, 70% winning percentage. Sean McDermott is of
Does
course
that include
bald.
the Saints years where they were like 13-3?
Yes, and it's against Dan Quinn. Um, but that's just fun stat of the day. I do think Sean Payton is an incredible coach. I think that the fact that Bo Nix is what he is a testament to my bad takes and Sean Payton's good coaching. Um, I think that they could run the football against anybody. I think that the Broncos defense is going to have to really worry about that. If they start running early and get up early, that could be some trouble for them. I do think the Bills defense or Bills offense is way too high powered. I think Patrick Surtain is a great cornerback. He'll probably shut down Secure or Amari Cooper, but really, how much does that
They have
matter?
weapons.
That's what I was gonna say.
I
Like,
feel like the Bills team is a little underrated offensively. All the credit that Josh Allen gets. Like they don't have like a true number one, unless you want to say Cooper's a true number one. I don't know if he is at this point, but they have like they have plenty of weapons who are reliable.
yeah, and the Keon Coleman has been a great rookie for them. Not a tremendous season, not rookie of the year or anything, but a good, solid rookie, reliable catcher, reliable target for Josh Allen. They have Shakir, they have um, Mari
Two
Cooper,
good tight ends.
they have two good tight ends, they have a great running back in Cooks or Cook, just Cook, not Cooks,
Okay.
and they they have the firepower, and of course they have Allen, who can make anything happen no matter what the defense has. So even if you shut down one side of the field with Surtain, I expect the Bills to be ready for that. I expect them to be aware that they can't throw on one side of the field,
Yep.
and then figure it out from there. They have to. I think this is going to be high powered scoring, and unless it's like super snowy, it is in Buffalo. I don't know what Buffalo's weather looking like, but 47.5.
Jack.
I could be over. I could be over on it. Um,
I
and
feel I feel like the Broncos are just gonna they're gonna have to score points to keep up with the Bills,
yes, yes,
and I think
1000%.
this could be a good over game.
I think it could be a good over game. I didn't know the Broncos have gone down to 8.5. Um, kind of like that too. I think they could. I think they could lose by 4 here, by 3.
I if we tease this game,
Tease it with the Steelers.
it's important. No, can we do it with like the spread and the total? Like, what if we
I
go up
Teasers is
to
kind of above my pay grade
14?
here, but if you figure that out, I'm all in
I
for it.
don't even know how to do it on DraftKings.
That's the thing. I don't know how to do
I
them. I
guess
know
I
what
could
they
just
mean, but
parlay
I
it.
don't know what they do. I don't know how to
So
do
it's
them.
basically like we're getting 6 points to turn 2 picks into even odds.
Yeah,
So if we parlay like Denver plus 14.5 with over 41.5, that gets us to minus 110.
not bad. I like it.
I think teasers are actually a sham. Like if you run the like I've just read about it where
Yeah,
like
I've heard about it too.
do the analysis of it, but this it seems pretty
Yeah, for what minus 110. That's not bad at all.
minus 110. Yeah,
It's funny too. Teasers are not made for us post college kids. They are to get even odds and then bet like 1,000 on them. Like they're for people with
I
real
threw 10
cheddar to
bucks
bet.
on this.
Yeah, let's do it. I'm down. That'd be great. Um, so what is it? Wait, what did it bring it down to? It brought it to Broncos to 15, 13 and a half.
Broncos plus 14.5. So we
Okay.
get the hook on the 14, which is nice. And over 41.5.
Oh yeah, I love that.
I think that'll hit in 3 quarters.
Yeah, that's
We just
great.
got to have Denver keep it close.
That's big. That's real. That's real great. Um, send me that so I can figure out how to do it on my book.
Yep.
Um,
There's no like official teaser option, but just doing the parlay.
you just did like the alt lines.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. All right. Um,
Wise teaser. It's a big moment.
yeah, we might be. I mean, can you parlay that with the rest of them? Because we might as well just put like, can you put that with the rest of them?
Same game X.
Yeah, exactly.
Parlay anything you want.
Love it. All right. Um, let's go to the Packers at the Philadelphia Eagles. This line is 4.5. I love the Eagles minus 4.5. I'm
I do
so
too.
I'm so
I
out
do
on this
too.
Packers team. I think
So I'm worried not to cut you off. I'm a little
no,
bit
go
worried
ahead.
that this is recency bias about the Packers. But go ahead.
I'm looking at
That's my one concern.
no, I'm just looking at their whole year because I haven't liked them all year. So this isn't new to me, but um, they
I've
have
been in on the Packers for a while.
they've had two bad games the past 2 weeks. And the Bears game, I mean, they didn't care what they could have gone to the 6th seed barely. I mean, they had Malik Willis out there. Um,
They like
they kept
they
it close
lost
with
the
the
Bears at
Lions.
home. Like they won with Malik Willis before.
It's true. They kept it close with the Lions once. They beat the crap out of 49ers. They beat the Texans. They beat the crap out of the Cardinals. They beat the Rams, which is actually
Smoked
pretty
the
huge.
Dolphins, smoked the Seahawks.
Lost by
These
5 to
aren't
the
world
Eagles
beater teams,
earlier.
but yeah, that's a throwaway, I think.
Yeah, it was Brazil. Brazil game. Jordan Love got hurt.
One is week 1.
Yeah, yeah. Um, a huge Josh Jacob game needed. They need to make sure that Jordan Love doesn't have a turnover early. Um, and what we said with Ethan last episode, they need to make sure that the Eagles stay in 3rd and long and are in 3rd and 13 and 3rd and 12, and then they need to play good defense on AJ Brown and Devontae Smith. And what's Jair Alexander? How's he feeling? I don't know. He's been kind of out for the past
Oh,
couple
he's
weeks.
terrible.
Um, I think he's out.
Yeah, he's on IR.
Yeah, he's been out since week 11. So that's
I
huge
like
against this team.
if you really just want to simplify this game, and you can do this with the Eagles against almost anybody, which is insane. They're better at every position.
Well, and to be fair, the Eagles, bearing Jalen Hurts, who I think is practice finally,
He's fine. Yeah, he's got
they
together.
have 22 starters healthy. No other team has
Yeah,
22 starters healthy.
big deal. It's a big deal.
It is a massive deal. The healthiest teams always win the Super Bowl. The veteran teams always win the Super Bowl. That's why I don't like the Packers. They're way too young. They only have one veteran on the team. It's Josh Jacobs. All these guys have been in the playoffs before, but I mean, I can't.
Oh,
I don't trust
something
Jordan Love
else,
yet.
right?
I don't trust Jordan Love yet. Uh, Watson, I know he hasn't done much, but is field stretcher. He won't be out there. Um, I do like Romeo Dobbs. I love Jalen Reed. I love Wicks. They have a nice young defense. Um, Give me a couple years here with the Packers, and I could take them against the Eagles, but not this year. Eagles are too ready. It'd
Yep.
be embarrassing if the Eagles lost, like really embarrassing. And I think like as simple as that sounds and as dumb as that sounds, um, there's no way in hell the Eagles are losing at home to the Packers in round one. Not this year.
Yeah, I the literally the only concern I have with the Eagles is they are pretty prone to starting slow,
Hmm.
and I worry that in a playoff game, if you get jumped on like 14 nothing, like say they give up an opening drive touchdown and then there's like a fumble, the
Yeah.
Packers score off that. Something like that, and then all of a sudden you're down, like then your ass gets tight, especially in front of that crowd, which like the Philly people will say this that it's the best crowd in sports, like in a close game or when you're winning. But when things start to get tight, it gets really tight.
Hmm.
And um, that's my only worry. I don't think it matters because I remember being worried when they played the Giants
Yeah.
in the playoffs a couple years ago that like maybe, and obviously this Packers team is way better than that Giants team was. Um, but that's my only concern. I don't like Jalen Hurts and Nick Sirianni have been to the Super Bowl, so I don't think it matters. Vic Fangio is like that dude's gross. So I'm not like I still like the Eagles in the game. That would be my only concern.
Yeah,
I think I'm
I
still
get
gonna
that.
take them with the points. I
I
think they
definitely
win
get
this
that.
game by 10 plus though.
Yeah, I like the Eagles to win by a touchdown at least. I think this defense is completely different than it was last year. They got the two rookie corners that completely saved their secondary, which is the big detriment to last year's team. Their linebackers are much better.
I mean, he just
The
pulled Zach
defensive
Bond out
line
of
is
thin air
amazing.
and
Yeah.
he's been doing all pro.
Also, Zach Bond, ultimate Philly guy. I remember watching him when they was facing the
Yeah,
Commanders. Every time like he gets a tackle or gets like a nice play, like I just look at him, I'm like, guy like belonged in Philly. I don't know how he ended up in New
yeah, he
Orleans,
does.
but he
Yeah,
definitely belonged
they
in
love
Philly.
him.
And great player that they've turned into, as you said, an all pro. Um, they just have, as you said, Uncle Vic. Uncle Vic's really turned this defense around. Um, yeah,
They might
this
force
is
like 3 turnovers in this game.
yeah, and Jordan Love is so prone to it. Um,
Yep.
that I just think one of these guys is going to hawk them early. And as you said, if they start slow, you just got to hope that Jordan Love pick comes pretty early. Then
I just
the
don't like the Packers won't be able to consistently move the ball. The Eagles are
no,
going to have a lot of chance. Even if they dig themselves a hole early, they're going to have a lot of chances to get right back into the game.
no,
And
they're only
if they're fighting and clawing for 3.5 quarters, like that's fine because then you
Mhm.
just get Saquon Barkley for the last 7 minutes.
Yeah, and same. I mean, that's how it happened against your Commanders. They played close for 3 quarters, and then Saquon
Yep,
Barkley took control in the
scratching and
last
clawing.
game. Um, and the only player like that for the Packers is Josh Jacobs, and if they can contain Josh Jacobs, then there's no consistent.
The front's
Yeah,
so good.
it's so good.
That front seven.
Um, all right. Well then, we'll have to get the Eagles line in there to the parlay because I think
Keep
we're
picking all
agreeing
these
with it.
favorites, man.
Chalky
I guess we
too.
said the Bills game would be
Hey,
close.
we're not picking a favorite this next game. Next game tomorrow night,
That's true.
8 p.m. Commanders at Buccaneers. Um, I love this is a different Commanders team that they saw in week one. Um, I love I love the Commanders here. I think that the
You
Tampa
actually
Bay Buc
do?
yeah, no, I actually do like the Commanders here.
Okay.
I'm not
Because
just
I just
saying
picked
that.
him because I have to.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna pick against my team in the playoffs.
no, um, I get that. I love Jane Daniels. I love what he can provide to. I think once you get in the playoffs and the quarterbacks start running around, he's going to be a valuable weapon. They're getting healthier. They're catching their stride. Their defense isn't where you want it to be, but if Lattimore is out there, it'll be very
He's
nice to
out
have
there.
him. He's going to be out there,
He's fine.
so
Yeah.
that'll be huge against Mike Evans. Uh,
They are also fully healthy. Outside of Noah
yeah,
Brown,
I was going to say pretty healthy
they
team.
are it's like I think it's 21 out of 22 starters.
Wow.
So
So yeah,
and that's
Austin Eckler's
your
back.
starter that's out is your wide receiver too.
Yeah. So that health bet, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, they have a great rushing attack, which will be a problem. Bucky Irving will be an issue. I like the
That's
Bucky Irving overs.
that will be an issue.
I like the Bucky Irving overs in this game. Um, what's the over on points? It's got to be high, right? 50.
50 and a half.
Damn.
I think it's too high. I think
Yeah, that's
Tampa will be
too
able to
high.
run the ball too much to take off clock.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think 50 is too high. I think, and even if it's like it could be like a 24-21 game, and it doesn't happen. So
Mhm.
I uh I like that. Washington is +3. I wish they gave you a little more disrespect. I'm not gonna lie. Wish they gave if this was like 5.5, I'd be all over that. Um, but
Oh,
I do
actually,
like
Colson Yankoff is out, so it could be a big deal.
who's that?
He's like our fourth string tight end.
Oh boy.
I had to make sure about the injuries.
Yeah.
I think Crowder's listed as questionable.
No, you'll be all right.
That's about it.
Yeah.
And Yankoff,
So Tampa Bay needs to get.
great jersey.
Do they? What are you more worried about? Them getting to not Jalen Hurts, Jane Daniels, dude. There's so many Jaden and Jalen's and McDaniels and Daniels, and I'm losing my mind over here. Jane Daniels. Are you more worried about them covering the pass or rushing the quarterback?
Rushing the quarterback for sure. I like and even that I'm not that worried about because he's so good off schedule and like I think that the thing about Jaden is he could take like 5 sacks in a game and it doesn't impact them that much
Hmm.
because he can run around so much and he's like he just doesn't take stacks for 10 plus yards.
Yeah.
And if they get when they get into like third and 8 to 12, like those are downs that he can pick up with his legs.
Mm.
So like if they're bringing 6 and he gets out of the pocket, it's game over. So I don't worry a ton about that. I I think this Bucks defense is incredibly vulnerable through the air.
Mm-hmm.
The thing that concerns me offensively is they can't run the ball to save their lives.
Yeah.
And I think they're just going to come out, spread it out, and you're going to get a lot of Austin Eckler.
I was
You're
gonna
going to
say a
get,
lot of dump balls to
I
Eckler.
think the screen game and the check down game is going to replace the run game. I think that's how they're going to go after it. I think that's how they have to go after it because
Vita Vea
running
is
Brian
taking
Robinson into
everything.
Vita Vea
Yeah, he's
like
covering everything.
every other play is not going to work. And I think they know that. Um, Obviously, they're smarter than I am, so I trust Cliff to do his thing. Needs to be a good night for Cliff. So
Yeah. Yeah, big day
needs
for
to be a
Cliff.
good night. Um, Maybe a head coaching audition coming up. I don't think he's going to get a job this cycle, but that's okay.
No, I don't think he's
Obviously, he's
getting a
bringing
job.
it
I
up.
think all the interviews are going off.
Um,
Did he get any interviews?
I think the Jets and the Bears. Jets have interviewed. The Jets interviewed freaking Mike Loxley. They're they're interviewing everyone that's ever coached a football team. Like I wouldn't be surprised if my dad got a call interview.
What would your dad say?
um,
Hey, we want you to move
I
uh
don't know.
what is it? Meadowlands? The Meadowlands?
Let me ask him.
Text your dad. Hey,
I'm
if the
sure he'd
Jets
say
come calling.
yes.
Yeah, of course. How do you say no? Um,
Random question.
if the Jets came calling, are you taking this? What do you do at 9 or whatever they
uh,
have?
yeah.
Um, okay, but to recap, to finish off this game before you before we get a response from Dad. Um,
Right.
the the secondary for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers has been very decimated this year. Um, but Terry McLaurin, I know we had that touchdown catch against Dallas, and it was like literally at the last second of the game. But he's been pretty locked up besides that the past 3 weeks. Two
Not
weeks?
against Philly.
Not against Philly. Two
He had
weeks.
like 5 for 80 and a touchdown.
All right, so that's basically what I was asking here. It's like, is his props cooked?
He's fine.
He's fine. All right, cool. So we can put his props in there. We can
It
figure
might
something
take
out
some
with that.
time,
Yeah. Okay.
but yeah, he'll have at least 4 catches. He'll have all 70, 80 yards. He'll be fine.
Cool. All right, that's what I was making sure that he's just not going to get shut out again. I mean, there's no
I
AJ
think they're gonna
Terrell.
take shots too. Like they're
Okay.
gonna go for it.
Cool. Let's
Okay,
do
he
it.
says yes.
So we take the Jets job. Nice.
He would take the job.
I mean, how do you not? I mean,
I mean, yeah.
all right. So Monday night game. I think this is my favorite game of
Really?
the weekend. I mean, I'm sure the Commanders are
I
your favorite
guess
game, which
there's.
makes sense. But
Well, I mean, out excluding that one, I kind of like the Bills Broncos game. Honestly,
yeah, that's gonna be fun. That's definitely gonna be fun. Um,
there's a
Vikings
lot that goes
Rams.
into this game though.
Yeah.
Like just situationally,
Hmm.
playing in Arizona, right?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Playing in Arizona. I don't know how much that matters. I don't
LA's
think
got to
there was
win
gonna.
this game. Right?
What?
LA can't lose this game.
No, LA's got to win it. They got to win it for the people.
They got to.
Um, they should have done it in St. Louis. That's where they should have moved this game to.
Do they still like the Rams though?
They have to. I mean, they. I mean, if they came back for a
I
game, I
wouldn't.
don't think they'd boo them, right?
That would be funny if they came back and it was
They
just
booed
like
them. It's like
all
all
purple.
Vikings. Yeah, that'd be sick. Um,
They're doing the skulls.
and it might be that might be how it is in Arizona. Who knows? It should be interesting to see who comes to this game. Um, what what the atmosphere is going to look like. It's going to be weird seeing. Are they going to have like Cardinals logos on the field?
I mean, they had like I think just get rid of them.
I mean,
Well, on the field, I guess. Yeah, they
on the
they do
field they'll
like bowl
paint them.
games there, so yeah,
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, they'll just
yeah,
like
they'll
paint
figure
over
it
it.
out.
But it'll definitely be an interesting game. Uh, I've loved the Rams. I mean, ever since they won that Super Bowl, that the I've loved the Rams since then. Since we picked them to win the Super Bowl in that one year.
They are like
But
our team.
yeah, and I just like can't like once Stafford's in the playoffs with Puka and Cooper Cup, it's just like I'm
They're
all in.
healthy too.
Yeah, they're healthy. They're rested. They all rested last week. Um, the
They're
concerning
gonna
part is
get
the
to Darnold
defense.
too.
Say again.
We're gonna get to Darnold.
Yes, the
And, like I
defensive
know this
line
argument
is.
is questionable. I know the weapons on the Vikings are about as good as anybody in the league, but like if you just get in Darnold's face,
Mhm.
Justin Jefferson can only do so much.
And they're definitely going to be able to get into his face. First or Fisk and Verse have been great rookies. They have other guys on the defensive line that have been playing out of their minds the past couple weeks. Their secondary is young but decent. I mean, they've covered what they've needed to so far. It'll be a tough test on Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison. I do think they're going to be able to get to Darnold, give him some of that pressure that the Lions gave him. And they don't have a guy like Anzalone to completely destroy the Vikings offense like the Lions do. But if they can mimic some of that pressure and some of that like annoyance that they had on Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison, I mean, Anzalone, you could have called pass interference on him almost every play against the Lions or against the Vikings, and it probably wouldn't have been a bad call, but he was a mess and just dealing with everybody. So they need a guy like that on the Rams. Um, Someone will step up, hopefully, for the Rams. And what scares me is the blitzing against Stafford. Because if you get in Stafford's face, it's going to be the same thing
Mhm.
with Darnold. You're going to be able to stop him. This defense has been flying all over quarterbacks all season long, blitzing the hell out of quarterbacks. I expect them to blitz a lot because it's a playoff game and they want to get after him. But if it's not working, I expect them to pull back because it's a veteran quarterback that can dismantle the blitz if he has the opportunity to. So big test for Brian Flores. I know he's getting some head coaching jobs looked at or interviews as well. So huge test
People
for him.
hate Brian Flores.
Yeah, the NFL does not like Brian Flores. So
I think he's mean.
he might be mean. I think that's what
Honestly,
it was
I
with the
think
Dolphins. Like I think Tua didn't like him
it
because he was
was.
mean.
He's too
Yeah,
mean. He made Tua sad.
can't make Tua sad. Which that's what makes him a good defensive coordinator, though. Maybe that's he should just
Right,
stay
yeah.
that way. Yeah,
Those guys probably responded. It's offense and defense are different.
definitely.
But yeah, this is like a big. Obviously, it's a big test. It's the playoffs, but this is the like. Okay, you did it all throughout the regular season. Now you have one game to save your season, and you got to go beat Matthew Stafford. Like, can you dial something up to slow down that offense?
It
Because
is
they're gonna have to play good on defense. Because I just can't imagine this offense hanging a big total up.
it's $100 million question for Sam Darnold too. That's what this game is. It's $100 million test for Sam Darnold. So we'll see how much he wants to be the New York Giants starting quarterback next year. But
God willing.
yeah, hopefully that would be hilarious.
Be perfect.
But it's the great matchup, interesting. I think it's like what is this? The closest line, right? Yeah, 2.5. Um, I'm
Oh, I've
all in on this game. Can't believe the
I have
Vikings are
all the
favored
same
though.
picks as LeBron, dude.
We have all the same picks as Braun.
Yes.
Oh, that's not good. Braun's chalk though, so I mean, I guess that's why. Yeah, that makes sense. Um,
That's true, yeah. The Commanders is like the trendy upset.
yeah, it is the trendy
Dude,
upset.
because of Jane Daniels.
Um, Rams
Um,
being
I'm gonna
underdogs.
try to talk myself into the Vikings. I don't like the way the line's moving.
Yeah, I
'Cause
don't
I
like
think
that
it
either.
opened at 1 and now it's at 3. I don't like that at all.
No, I completely agree. That it's definitely some weird movement. The Vegas knows something that we don't here.
Vikings were 14-3 this year.
We were 14-3.
Like, we're just ignoring that because they have Sam Darnold, and he played a bad game last week. We've been waiting for him to turn into a pumpkin all year, and it just so happened that his one bad game was right before the playoffs.
That is true
Like, that is recency bias at its finest.
to a T. It's a good
Kinda like
point.
the Vikings. The Fires thing, though, I feel like I can't pick against the Rams when the Fires are happening.
Yeah, they got to do it for the
We'll pick the
city.
Chargers.
Chargers Rams Super Bowl. Um,
I mean, UCLA just got spanked last night. It doesn't actually have an effect on how the game goes.
no, it doesn't. Do you so so let's stick with player props here for this one then.
Okay. I like the Vikings all of a sudden.
I like Cooper Cup
Convince myself.
48.5 yards.
48.
Yeah. I don't know why
That's
that's
not
so
a lot of
low.
yards. Well, he's has not been great since Puka
No.
came back. Like Puka 90 yards is minus 120.
Yeah, actually he hasn't hit 50
I kind of like
yards.
Jordan Addison to have a big game after his dud last week.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah,
I'm a big fan of Jordan
Addison
Addison.
60 yards is minus 110.
Okay, I like that over Cooper Cup. Cooper Cup hasn't had 50 yards, and he's had it once in 5 games. And that was versus the Bills.
Ugh.
But when the
Yeah.
going gets tough, though, he's not going to get 1 reception for 29 yards. When going gets tough, he's going to get 7 receptions for
Hey,
110.
when did he got blanked though against was it
Yeah, the
Monday Night
49ers.
or
49ers
Thursday
got
night?
blanked. Yeah.
I don't like we might be putting too much stock into Cooper Cup.
That was 5 days after his Bills game where he had his best game his third best
Yeah,
game of the
but
season.
since then he's been
He's been terrible.
pretty absent.
Yeah. No, I agree. But
I
I
mean,
just I feel like he's getting 11 catches for whatever in this game. Like I feel like they're not going to die with Puka
yeah,
or with Cooper Cup getting 0.
I guess, yeah.
Let's see what his
Let's
receptions
see.
are at.
Yeah. So since Buffalo, he's gone 1 for 29, 3 for 24, 0. Gotten 9 total. That just doesn't make this offense has gone like in the games the Stars have played since the Bills game. They've won all these games, but they've gone 13-12.
Yeah, this is an interesting team to me. It's hurting my brain right now. Try to figure this out. Um,
I think we might be overrating the Rams because of the names.
I can see that. There's some about veterans though in the playoffs that just get me
I know.
get
I
me
know.
going. Um,
But this is not like the other thing that I worry about is that our brains are like still remembering the Vikings from a couple years ago. And they were frauds going into the playoffs and everyone knew it.
mhm,
Like just because they had Darnold doesn't mean that they're frauds.
that's true.
Their point differential was plus 100.
No, they were really
You know what the
dominant.
Rams was?
Minus.
Minus 19.
Ooh, ooh.
I'm taking the Vikings.
Okay.
You don't have to give it out as a pick, but I'm
No,
taking
yeah,
it.
let's
I'm
do
gonna
it.
switch that up.
All right, go ahead.
Well,
I'm all for
you
it.
have the Rams beating the Eagles, so you can't.
Yeah, I can.
But
I'm locked
I
in.
will adjust my bracket, I think.
Um, while I'm looking at this, Matthew Stafford half a yard rushing is plus 112. Quarterbacks run in the playoffs. He just needs a yard.
Yeah, until he takes a knee at the end of the game.
That's true. But if you do Jordan Addison
They're not gonna win.
60 yards and Matthew Stafford half a yard, then you get plus 265. So just throwing it
That's
out there.
funny.
Um, okay, man, you do have me convinced with the Vikings here because you have a good point. It's just I just don't I can't stand behind Darnold. And I know that's stupid, and they've been doing it all year.
No, that's not stupid.
I can't do it. But that's okay. We'll
Stafford
figure out.
also, like, I'm looking back at the first game. Stafford lit them up,
Have they
which
played
makes me
this year?
nervous. Yeah, it was one of the Vikings' only losses. Rams beat them 30-20. It was that Thursday night game where there was like an obvious face mask maybe that they didn't call. Darnold took the safety. They got the ball back down 8. Darnold took a sack in the end zone. There was like I think it was a face mask penalty that was just blatantly missed.
For Cup had 50 yards that game. No, yeah,
We're gonna
Stafford.
be divided.
Stafford really did line up in this game. With 4
I don't.
touchdowns.
Yeah, that makes me nervous because they did get shredded.
Stafford had negative 4 yards. Uh-oh. What's
Now
so
I don't know. Now my brain's in a pretzel again because I don't like Stafford against a defense like this. Or I mean, I don't like this defense against Stafford. I should phrase
yeah,
that.
when you blitz like when you blitz this heavy, hopefully a guy like Stafford can, um let's figure out
I'm
you don't have to
overthinking
make it.
this. I'm gonna sleep on it.
All right, yeah, I was going to say we
I
don't
like
have to
Addison.
decide
I like Addison
immediately.
yards.
Um all right, I like the Addison yards. Let's put that down. Um let's figure out the parlay and then we'll do college corner and wrap this up.
Yep.
All right, so we like the Chargers minus
All
3,
right.
right?
Let's do money line. If we're doing a parlay, let's just put the money line in there,
All right.
just in case.
The Wise wild card parlay. Also,
What about the Wild Wise card?
done. All right. Chargers money line.
Oh, I can make this on my graphic design as we're going.
Sweet.
Who do we want as the background?
Ooh, I think let's figure it out afterwards. Can you, is that,
All right, yeah, let's just keep going. What did you like in the Steelers game?
okay. I like what we talked about Bateman.
Talk about
Give a little,
Bateman. I also had Henry.
okay. What about
So
Firemouth?
Henry 90 plus Firemouth. I'm on rushing right now.
His line's at 9 and a
Firemouth
half.
for 40 is minus 105.
All right. So wait, what were you thinking? Derrick Henry 90 yards? Should we go 80?
90 yards is minus 160. 80 is minus 250.
I wouldn't mind 80. Just try to play a little safer.
That's fine.
All right.
I mean, if we're picking every game, then yeah.
All right. So Bateman 50 or 46. That's what I have it.
Okay.
And then Henry 80.
We could also do Bateman 40 plus for minus 180.
Oh, do I have Bateman 40 plus? Ooh, okay.
Oh, you're probably on FanDuel, right?
Yeah, but it's minus 158. I like that. Let's go 40. Let's cut some of that yards down. Addison, we have 59 and a half for that game. Now we're on Broncos Bills. This we did the teaser for.
In the teaser. We don't have to throw that whole thing in there though. We could just do
Okay.
like the alt over maybe.
Yeah,
Or the
let's do the
alt
alt
spread.
over. Let's do the alt
Alt
over.
over. Okay. What'd you put Addison at?
I have him at 59 and a half. But we can
Okay.
we can alt it if we want to.
We might do 50.
All right, yeah, let's do 50. And then the alt would be 41 and a half, you said? Is what we can get it down to.
Yes.
All right, yeah, I like that. It's just good podcasting, but it'll be just trust, it'll come into fruition.
This will hit.
Yes, this will hit. Alt spread, no, alt points. We want 41. Boom. So that's in there. Packers, Eagles. Are we taking the Eagles minus 4.5?
Yep.
All right. Love it.
I might on my own, I might alt them down a little bit. Just to be safe. So I'm not a risk taker.
It's fair. Commanders. I don't want to do just Bucky because I want something for the Commanders, but do want Bucky Irving alt 80 yards.
Yes. I won't be touching this game personally, just so the people know. I will have a superstition thing
Yeah,
where
no,
I
that's
can.
totally fine.
But
Yeah.
where's
Should we?
Eckler?
I was gonna say Eckler
Eckler
receptions.
25 yards.
Oh,
Even
25.
rushing, Eckler 25 rushing yards is plus money.
What about rushing and receiving? We can get him at 44.
Like that.
All right. Sweet.
Yeah.
So we have Eckler.
And I think that does it.
Well, we got the rant. Oh yeah, because we have Addison in there. Yeah, I think
We
that's
did
it.
add it. We put us in already.
All right, let me switch Addison to 50 and a half, and I'll tell you what the FanDuel odds are. Okay. Receiving props. To Addison. 50 yards. Boom. All right. It is plus 1400 or 4100. Nice.
It's 4,100.
Yeah, 4180. 8 leg, same game plus parlay. Um, I like it. I'm gonna definitely bet this, and we'll
Derrick
post
Henry's the
it.
background.
Yeah, let's do Derrick Henry. Let's get the king in there.
I will get that up.
So for everyone at home, just to recap, in the Washington Buccaneers game, we have Bucky Irving plus 80 yards, and we have Austin Eckler over 44 and a half rushing and receiving yards. For the Steelers Baltimore game, we have Derrick Henry 80 yards and Bateman 40 yards. We have the Chargers money line. We have an alternate point spread for Denver, or not point spread, but over spread for the Denver Broncos and Buffalo Bills, over 41 and a half. We have the Eagles minus 4.5. And then we have Jordan Addison 50 yards. All that together is $5 to win 209. So let's make some money.
Nice.
Let's make some money today. All right, Chris, you were at a Maryland basketball game yesterday. How'd it go? What's going on with the team? How we feeling?
It was awesome. It was a must-win game. I thought against UCLA. They were getting smoked on the boards for a while, but Kobe Gillespie was just hitting bucket after bucket. So they went to halftime with a lead, and then the wheels just came off. They went on like a 20-5 run, ended up winning the game by 18 points. Mick Cronin got ejected, which was cool. It was a great environment for a winter break game. Not even for just in general, it's a great environment, which surprised me because most of the students are on break. So I was very impressed. I think people are excited about the team. They're 2-3 in conference now because they had a West Coast trip last week where they went 0-2. But I think this game made me confident that they are who I thought they were. That they're a legit team this year. At some point, they're gonna have to win a close game. Like, I'm happy that they smoked UCLA. I'd like to see them win a close game because they have not yet. All of their 4 losses have all been tight. So that's what I'll be looking for in the future. A close road win would feed families, but I think they just have so many scoring options. They have a lot of athleticism, so I think they're definitely a tournament team. I just hope that they don't underperform, especially on the road. Because it kind of reminds me of 2 years ago where they were like 10-0 at home in the conference and then 1-9 on the road. So got to be better than that. I think they're going to win most of their home games again. But yeah, that's the big thing for me to watch.
Nice.
I had a tough folly at the game. So we were sitting down. I got a student ticket, so I was able to sit like down in the first row, which was awesome because that's where I lived for 4 years.
Yeah.
Down in that section. But this guy walks by in a hot dog costume, and we're all like giving him nuts. I was like, "What's this guy like? Why is he in a hot dog costume?" And then a little bit later, I saw the cheerleaders were holding these like aluminum wrapped. It looked like food, and they had a heat bag. I'm starting to put 2 and 2 together. I'm like, there can be some hot dogs in the stands pretty soon, I think. And
flowing in.
They go to timeout, and I look back, and I see the guy in the hot dog costume, and he has a t-shirt cannon. But for some reason, my brain like skipped a beat, and I was so excited about them like shooting hot dogs into the stands that I thought it was a hot dog gun. But what I said was, he's got a gun.
No.
And I got the security and like we're in the first row, so there's security guards everywhere, and like everybody just looks over, and I didn't realize what I had said because I was just excited about the hot dogs being shot into the air. And Avery's like, "Chris, like, don't say that." And I was like, "What?" And I like look at the security guard, and he's just like looking right at me, and I was like, "Oh, no, hot dog gun, like he's gonna shoot hot." And then she's like, "It's t-shirts, it's a t-shirt cannon, like it's not even hot dogs." And I was like, I just got way too excited, and they get like it kept giving out food to the people that were courtside, and they would like turn around and throw it. Actually, Deontay Banks was there,
Oh, nice.
and he would like get a cookie and he'd throw it into the crowd. So I was just super hyper focused on all the free food getting thrown around. Um, and yeah, I didn't realize what I said,
So you
but
almost
I hope
caused a
I didn't.
security panic over a hot dog
Yeah,
fight.
and
That
the guy in our section, Mark, is like he's an old guy. He's like seemed to me at least like the nicest guy ever. So I felt really bad that I probably gave him a heart attack when I loudly said that somebody had a gun, and I was just referring to the guy in the hot dog costume, t-shirt can. That was unfortunate, but other than that, it was a pretty awesome game to be at.
well, that's great. Um, I wish I would say South Carolina has it as easy. Um, the SEC play has not been good so far. The team is just getting injured more and more, missing guys that are important to us. Some transfer guys. Um, it's becoming a like the tournament gave expectations for this year, and then the roster did not meet with the expectations. So it's kind of sad, but hopefully they play Auburn today at 1 because they had to move it because it snowed in Columbia. Um, but I hope the stands just keep it coming for the SEC games. They got to be loud. They got to be loud there. I won't be able to provide my booming voice, so it's sad to watch on TV knowing that I could help in some way, um,
Yeah, that is a shame.
but I just hope the fans stay sticking along. Lamont's gonna do. He's building something here. We got lucky last year by making the tournament, and I hope that's not the expectation for every year because we're not gonna make it every year, and
Yep,
the team's gonna have to improve. Lamont's gonna have to do some things to improve it, and hopefully he does that, and hopefully some younger guys step up. We get to see some younger guys play with the injuries, and hopefully the future looks bright. But the uh the present is not the brightest right now, which is okay.
it's kind of what happened in Maryland last year, honestly, where expectations were so high
Hmm.
because the first year was so good.
Yeah,
Um, and you almost like suffer because of that.
yeah. You have to remember
So
this is his second full year being head coach here,
yeah,
and there's not there. And
right.
what's sad, and I'm sure the South Carolina aspect comes into it at some point, if you catch my drift. But people are not. They do not have a long leash with Lamont Paris. They want to see
Yeah,
games won, which is frustrating to blame it all on the coach. But um,
yeah.
hopefully he proves those doubters wrong. Hopefully we get some SEC upsets. I mean, I said I think um, maybe I haven't said it on the pod, but I've definitely said it to people. Um, if they could win half their SEC games and make the NCAA tournament, because all of them are quad one wins. So
Yep.
every game's a battle, and hopefully we win a couple in there. Just try to stay competitive.
I believe.
Thanks. I believe too. Um, I think that's all we got. It's a good pod. Hopefully everyone enjoys their wild card weekends. Games start at 3 o'clock today or 4 o'clock today, and we'll see everyone for the